for today we are going to discuss intransitive verb. What is intransitive verb? A verb which does not take an object. A verb which does not take an object. What does it mean? A verb which does not take an object. A verb which does not take an object, that is intransitive. So intransitive in the sense which there will be no object, or we can say object will not be needed. Object will not be needed. So there is no need of object. For example, he runs, I go, he works, etc. He runs, I go, he works. There is no need of object. What is an object? An action taken by the verb upon something, upon a noun or a noun phrase is called an object. Because object, action is taken upon an object. An object may be noun or a noun phrase. Noun or a noun phrase. So a noun phrase is not needed after such like verb. That is called intransitive verb. That is called intransitive verb. Sometimes we are using noun phrase after these verbs. For example, he runs to the ground. He runs to the ground. I go to school. And he works in the field. So just see, noun phrase is here. To the ground, that is a noun phrase. To school, that is a noun phrase. In the field, that is a noun phrase. So noun phrase is here, but we say there is no need of object. So what will be the position of to the ground, to school, in the field? Here in this sentence. So be in mind, intransitive verb are those which does not need an object. So there will be a complement. The major question is, after intransitive, the noun phrase or a noun, we will call it complement. We can't call it an object. Because while we are changing this sentence into passive voice, we can't change them into passive voice because they have no object. When a sentence contains no object, we will be unable to change into passive voice. And passive voice, subject in place of object, object in place of subject. Object is object, but it will be migrated, it will be transferred in the place of an object. Object in the place of subject and subject in the place of object. So this interchange will not be there while here is intransitive verb. While here is intransitive verb. So intransitive verb will always take a complement. It will always take a complement. For example, we are dealing first of all discussing some transitive verb. We have a transitive verb. He performs his duty. Just see. He performs his duty. Here is his duty, a noun phrase. His duty, a noun phrase. One thing be in mind. When there is intransitive verb, noun phrase will not be taken without preposition. Noun phrase will not be taken without preposition. Preposition will be there because intransitive verb is not in need of a noun phrase for its explanation. If we are going to link If we are going to link, we will insert preposition. When there is a preposition before a noun phrase, or we can say when there is a preposition after word and before a noun, or we can say another word before an object, this we will not call an object, that will be a complement. When preposition is there, here is no preposition, is, that is pronoun possessive case. We must have an article, a, an, and the. So they are article. We can use that will be a subject. When a noun phrase is, that will be an object. When a noun phrase is without preposition. Without preposition. It can be changed into passive voice. Why? This verb is transitive. If we say he performs, you will ask a question what he is performing. If I say he runs, you will not ask in question where he is running. Because runs don't take an object and perform need an object. So perform will be transitive and run will be intransitive. When we are linking object or noun phrase with the intransitive, we will use preposition. So this noun phrase will change its place, will change its position. We will not call it an object, we will call it complement. We will call it complement, and that is major point. For example, in school, someone has told us, I go to school. I subject, go verb, to school object. That is totally wrong. To school is complement. To school is complement. So correct this thing. To school is complement because go is intransitive, and we are writing in definition a verb which does not take an object. So if it is not taking an object, how can we use an object then? So that will be complement. For example, we are changing it into passive voice. His duty is performed by him. Subject, his duty is performed by him. His duty is performed by him. Just see, object in place of subject, subject in place of object. Third form of the verb, perform. Inserting of auxiliary because verb is passive. Verb is passive. We have two active form of verb. One is first form, another is second form. Third one is progressive form. Third one is first form plus ing, that is progressive. But basically, two verb forms, they are active, first and second. Third form is passive one. Third form is passive one. So auxiliary is used here. The verb is passive. The whole structure is passive. And another thing is passive, that is subject. What is subject? The top of a sentence, the actor of a sentence, the action which is taken by someone, that will be an object. Here, this subject is not taking an action by himself. Such kind of object, such kind of subject, which was actually the subject of a sentence, but now it is in place of object. We can't call it object, we will call it an agent, and that is a major question. During passive voice, we say subject into object, object into subject, third form of the verb, actually that is wrong. Not subject into object, subject in place of object, object in place of subject. Object can't be subject and subject can't be object, because if we are going to define an action taken upon something that is object, so here the action is being taken upon, so still it is an object and still it is a subject, but the place has changed. The place is changed. So here, this subject, which is in the form of passive voice, now it is the place of object. We will call it agent. Be in mind. That is a new terminology. According to the new research, that we will call an agent. That we will call an agent. So that can only be possible when verb is transitive. When verb is transitive. When there is intransitive verb, which is our topic. For example, we can't change it to passive voice. He works in the field because here is no object. There is no object in the sentence which can take the place of a subject. Which can take the place of a subject. So here is no object. We can't change it into passive voice. Be in mind. Here are some sentences. For example, he looks at me. Looks at me. Just see. I have told you. When there is a preposition before a noun or pronoun, and those noun or pronoun are used in place of object, that will be complement. I have told you. And the verb will be intransitive. But here in this sentence, just see. Here is a phrasal verb actually. This sentence, this is transitive. It can be changed into passive voice. Why? The major thing is the verb is a phrasal. Here is phrasal verb. What is phrasal verb? Phrasal verb. What is actually phrasal verb? Phrasal verb are those, the meaning of which can be changed with the use of preposition. When we are changing preposition, its meaning will be changed. For example, he looks at me. He looks for something. Look for something in search of. Looks at me. He is looking me. He is peering me. He is peering me. So, that is something else. The meaning will be changed with the change of preposition. This verb we will call phrasal verb. When there is phrasal verb, so preposition will be used here. But this will not be a complement, this will be an object. Because now preposition is not used as a linkage, but preposition here used as a phrasal verb with the verb. So it can be changed into passive voice. He looks at me. I am looked at by him. I am looked at by him. So I am looked at by him. Again phrasal verb are here. Again phrasal verb are here. Looked at. But with the addition of by. With the addition of by, that is a major change within the passive voice. So with the addition of by. So be in mind, within intransitive, there will be no object. Intransitive will not be changed into passive voice. Within transitive, when we are linking an object, or we can say a noun phrase, they are pronoun. That noun or pronoun or noun phrase will be a complement, not an object. It can't be changed into passive voice. In case of phrasal verb, that will be an object, and we can change into passive voice because in phrasal verb there is use of transitive verb. There is use of transitive verb. But without phrasal verb, when there is preposition with the linking, with the linkage of, for example, he works in the field. He works on the table. So verb is not changing its meaning with the change of preposition. It means that works in, works on, they are not phrasal. They are not phrasal verb. Actually, in, on preposition that is used for the linkage of the noun or noun phrase or pronoun. So that will be complement. That will be complement. So that is the second part of my previous lecture, in which I have already discussed transitive verb, monotransitive, ditransitive, then direct object and indirect object. And now transitive and intransitive lecture is completed. With the completion of this lecture, in this I have already explained intransitive verb, and we will go ahead inshallah.